Hey, yeah. Oh, out in the woods, it's snowing. I'm quite enjoying it myself, but that's just me. I'm like that. By the by, hi Sadie. Anywho, just wanted to commune with all my very good friends and also commune with the trees. Oh, there's something to be said for communing with the trees. It's very relaxing, very soothing, very peaceful. These beautiful giants that dwell in their own universe of contemplation and thought. Something to think about. Wow. In any case, reality has a liberal bias. We've already established this fact. And fantasy can be all over the map. We've established this fact. What we have not established is the place of love within the universe. And love is a confusing word because it means so many different things that each have their own word in every other language except English. English is the language that has limited love to one word to describe so many different things. And it's a very difficult concept to express, and it leads to a lot of people in the English-speaking world being reluctant to use the word when it's really necessary to use it. To be able to say, I love you to somebody is suddenly charged with all manner of uncomfortable sexual connotations because in our society, love implies sex because the word love is associated with sex, even when this is not the intention. And this creates confusion and discomfort and leads to a lot of people not being able to express themselves honestly. Love is not sex, except when it is. And this is incredibly confusing. I mean, what happened to all those other words that used to exist in English? Or is the fact that English isn't really a language so much as it is a collection of code words developed by Normans, Saxons, and Britons in order to be able to yell insults at each other across the battlefield? And I think that's why English is so limited. It didn't develop as a natural organic language. It became the language of necessity for people who already had their own languages. For the Saxons and the Normans and the Britons, all living on this island, all at each other's throats, they had to develop the English language in order to communicate with each other. And as a result, the English language has one word for multiple emotional connotations. The word is love, and love is the word that drives us all crazy. And sometimes it is the emotion that drives us all crazy. But mostly right now it's the word. And this is especially appropriate on Valentine's Day, the celebration of the Christian patron saint of love, who incidentally hated women and was executed for murder. He wasn't executed for being a Christian. He was executed for the murder of a high priestess at the local temple. And this is something that the Christians love to gloss over. Yes, he was executed in a very brutal manner. But he was executed because he murdered a fucking high priestess. Because he loved Jesus, but he hated women. So no, he is not the patron saint of women. He is the patron saint of love because he loved Jesus so much that he was willing to chop off his own wing wang. Which he did, incidentally. Yes. They used to do that back in those days. Why? Ew. Terrifying, really. Honestly, terrifying. But love is so much more than just one's unrequited affection for a heavenly spirit that looks down upon you and wants to punish you for every time that you masturbate. Love is The friendship that can exist, the deep and profound friendship that can exist between two or more people. Love is the intense, romantic, and sometimes sexual desire that can exist between two or more people. Love is the appreciation that can exist among people and non-people of various types, our two-legged people and our four-legged people. Love is a driving force. A dog loves their human unconditionally, and an addict loves their fix unconditionally, and a professional girl loves her client unconditionally for the few minutes that he is there inside of her, busy getting his rocks off. Yes. Ta-da! Because love is a complicated word with so many complicated meanings, and nobody is able to decipher the nature and meaning of the word love, or the nature and meaning of the emotion love. It is so confusing, distressing, disturbing, and perplexing, and we have no idea what we are doing with it. What are we doing with love? What is the purpose and point of love? Why do we feel this incredible attachment to others of our own species and others of other species? Why do we have these intense sexual cravings for others? Why do we have these intense longings for the company and companionship of others? Why do we have this particular appreciation for a particular food or a particular seasoning on that food? Why, oh why, oh why? And this brings us back to the idea that English is a very limited language because the English never developed a wide range of words for all the different ideas that are collectively lumped together as love. The English language is hamstrung and hampered and curtailed, and we are all, therefore, grievously limited. It occurs to me that we need new words. We need more words. The English language, instead of being dumbed down to a smaller and smaller vocabulary, must be expanded to a greater and greater vocabulary to cover these complex emotions that the people for whom English was created were never able to express to each other. The English language is full of words for hate and rage and fury. I'm going to cut your throat. I'm going to bash in your brains. I'm going to burn your barn. In the name of William the Bastard, I'm going to subjugate you. In the name of Harold Hardrada, who is long dead, but whose soul shall endure, I will drive you filthy Normans from our shores. In the name of Gwynedd, I will drive you Saxons back to hell, and you Normans with them. And there is no love in the English language. There is no love because the English language was created to express the hatred and rage of three peoples mutually antagonistic to each other, forced to live on the same island, where the border along Ulfa's Dike was more than just a frontier between different countries and different cultures. It was a place where if you stepped onto the wrong side, you would die instantly because somebody would be there waiting to kill you. And this is where English comes from. English in all its hellish fury and rage. It is the language of war. It's the language of carnage, the language of slaughter. And it is the language that is most limited in its ability to express love. Where is the love in the English language? Where is the heartfelt compassion in the English language? Where is the tenderness and affection in the English language? It is borrowed from the fucking French. Something to think about. The English had to learn a language of love from the French. They had to acquire words of love from the Spanish and from the Italians and from the French, and indeed even from the Russians and the Germans and the Norwegians, because the English did not have these words. The English do not have these words. These words must be imported to England like tea. And this is what we must overcome, the limitations of the English language. A language that does not allow us to express the full range of human emotions beyond hatred and fury and rage. A language that hamstrings us whenever we reach out with affection, tenderness, compassion, humanity and humility and longing and desire and friendship. A language which stops us short, like a wall that we crash into. And we cannot go further with words, and so we are forced to improvise because we lack the language of love.